Great. It's Monday, Thursday. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. I struggle with that word Monday, Thursday, but it is Thursday in Holy Week, and for us is like the biggest Thursday, the highest Thursday, and so pivotal for us as Christians this day, because the celebration that is celebrated today, the institution of the Eucharist, the washing of the feet, Jesus giving us his presence just before going into Calvary, is so important, and it just covers us as Christians. And I just wanted to focus on that one point and just go straight into it, because I think today the point that is in my heart, or the point that I wanted to kind of reflect on today, is that today is a big celebration. So stay with me, okay? Stay with me until the end of this video, because I want to make a real special invitation for us today to do on this day. So what I think we need to take away from this day is the fact that Jesus today he gives us an invitation to be with him in his presence. And he does that in two ways. One, he highlights for us, and I think it's so amazing, on this day, on what we celebrate today, everything that is celebrated in the liturgy, so the part of the Eucharist, and also the part of the washing of the feet, which is another aspect of today, the washing of the feet. Jesus started it through his own initiative. So it wasn't Peter that said, okay, I got an idea, $1 million idea for us Christians, or Paul that later said, what, we should do this, or Mary that said, actually guys, what would be really good if you did this, because or an angel. No. So today it was the human divine Jesus that started what we celebrate today. So Jesus gathered his disciples when they were having their meal, their Passover meal, and he did something that was so mind-blowing, I think, for them, that they didn't understand it right there and then, but this then later came to be an important part in their Christian journey. So Jesus today establishes the fact that he wants his presence, the presence of Jesus, in a real way to be with us here on earth, and in a way where Jesus gathers on the table and he takes the bread and the wine, and he's there and he's saying, guys, I want you to have communion with me. I want you to be able to come to my table, to come to my presence and be strengthened in your bodies. I want you to make this a special time for you guys to be with me. And let me extend that to us here today. This is the invitation that Jesus makes in this, and I think it's so amazing. Is it's in the context of Holy Week, just before he goes into his passion and crucifixion. He says, wait, just before I go there and I do this thing, I want you to know that when the passion comes, I want you to have my body, I want you to have my presence with you for forever, really. And I want this to be something that you can access. So every time that you go to church, that we go to church, and in the tabernacle, there is the bread, or that we go to mass, where there is daily mass celebrated every day or once a week, that this factor, this celebration, was instituted by Jesus. And it's not just kind of like, it's not even a normal institution, like, okay, you go this, you do that, like an order. Jesus, throughout his life, he taught us how to be disciples through his teachings, through what he said, follow me, do this. And now he's an action, in a tangible action, in something doing. He's establishing another teaching, another way. And it's not just one that, okay, do this, do that. It's one where he's saying, I am here. I'm here present. And it's amazing. It's amazing because the disciples only later, after the resurrection of Jesus, really understood that actually this is part of our Christian life. Jesus is here, and through the breaking of the bread we can recognize his presence. And so I just wanted to bring this to you today, because I think today is really important for us to stop and reflect on this and realize, actually, wow, Jesus wanted this to happen. He wanted to be with us in this way. Because we go to mass sometimes, I think the presence of Jesus just kind of like goes over our heads, or we think, oh, that's just a ritual that, you know, that they're doing. It's just a Catholic thing, or sometimes we even disrespect the Eucharist and the presence of Jesus, because we don't know that Jesus is really present there. But today Jesus is saying, I am present here. I want to be present here. I want you to have communion with me, and I want this to be part of your Christian life. I want you to take the bread, and I want you to remember me. I want you to remember my presence, and to be and have my presence in your heart. So today is a day for us to treasure, to go back if we have lost the sense of our communion with Jesus through the breaking of the bread, through that beautiful coming to the table of Jesus and receiving him. If we have gone far from that, or if we have never understood that, today Jesus is saying, you know, there's not much to understand. This is my presence, and that's all you need to know. So if this is Jesus's presence, and we should go to it, we should go and we should acknowledge, and we should say, okay, hey Jesus, have a relationship with him in his Eucharistic presence. So that's part number one. And then part number two is the washing of the feet. You know, the most amazing, humble actions that, you know, Jesus does. Imagine, just take one moment. I just want you to imagine for 1 second, Jesus washing your feet. Wow. You know, Jesus bending down and washing the feet of his disciples, because he's saying, guys, this is it. You need to have communion with me, and you also need to be of service to others. So have communion with me, sit on my table, but also remember that you need to go and wash the feet of this world and wash the feet of each other. And yeah, it's a great humbling reminder that we are not here to be served. So I'm not here to be served, I'm here to serve, and that is the key that Jesus wants to teach us. And also today, at least in Brazil, I don't know, here we celebrate kind of like the birthday of priesthood, because this is what priesthood is, isn't it? The priest gives up his life for Jesus, but also not just for Jesus. He gives up his life to become Jesus for us, to become a representation, to consecrate the bread, and to become that moment where Jesus gives himself up for us. So the priest consecrates the Eucharist and remembers what Jesus did on this day and reenacts it, and has the power to do it. And then Jesus comes to our table through our priests. So let's remember to pray for our priests today. Bring them to mind. Say a prayer for them, because they're just doing what Jesus instructed them to do, instructed the disciples. And I think it's amazing that over 2,000 years later, you and I can have communion at the table with Jesus. We can go and have the same experience that the disciples did. So Jesus didn't want to just keep this for them. He was so good and he was so loving, and he said, you know what, I want them guys, you know, them St. Paul's or Amanda and you and everyone to actually be able to come to me in my presence. So for our reflection today, I want to invite you to do something really special. Okay, so one is the service is going to be broadcasted. So today Monday service is going to be broadcasted live. I think I'm going to look for more links, but definitely the Pope, who is not alone, he it's going to be broadcasting this from St. Peter's today, tonight, I think at 8 p.m. But I'm going to put the link here. So I wanted you to make some time to watch it, but also in your own way, just before watching it or whilst you're watching the service, bring to mind your relationship with the presence of Jesus at his table today. You know, bring to mind that actually what we do when we gather together at Mass is not just a ritual. It's not just something that was invented by anyone human, really. It was something that Jesus wanted to establish as a way for us to come to him, to come to his presence. So we should honor that. So today, honor it with your family. So maybe put the service live or on your TV or on your computer and watch it. But don't just watch the service, you know, the whole, watch the presence of Jesus become alive and real for us today. And then, which is going to be the second invitation of this day, Jesus, and there's going to be some adoration. I don't know if St. Peter's are going to broadcast that, but I will try. Jesus in this moment, he's going to, Gethsemane and then into the Passion. So he's going first to pray, and then he's going to surrender himself. So Jesus makes the invitation on this night, this Thursday night, before he dies on Friday, on Good Friday. He makes the invitation for us to watch and pray, with him. So tonight, if you could, make some time to watch with Jesus, whether it's through this broadcasting and then staying over to just sit and watch and get your spirits ready. He tells Peter, the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. So take some time to pray and watch with the Lord today. I'm going to put a link to some music. It's at the Taizé music as well. So if you want in your room tonight, if you're on your own, to put some Taizé and just take that moment to pray, to watch with Jesus before he goes into his Passion. And then if you remember yesterday, I asked you to make an altar, and so I wanted you to bring to your altar today. Let's all wash the feet of our world. And how can we do that? We can't all go and wash each other's feet, unfortunately. But what we can do, and I thought we could wash the feet of our world today, is in your altar, where you acknowledge that God's presence for you, to come and to bring a prayer. Like, you can write a prayer for someone today. For maybe you might not know the person. Maybe you might just want to write a prayer for those who are suffering today, or a prayer for someone who's in hospital. If you have children, they can make nice prayer cards, and then you can put that on your altar, and that can be your washing of the feet of the world today. So just remember to say a little prayer for someone, for the world today, so that we can wash them with the presence of Jesus in this day. And also take some time this evening to watch and pray, and remember and review your relationship with the presence of Jesus in the bread. Is that really part of your life? Is that something that you treasure? Is that something that you can maybe treasure from now on, because it's so big, and Jesus himself wanted that to happen? So this is it from me, and looking forward to our next reflections together. And thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a blessed Thursday today.